Hi guys, this is Christine, your relationship and mindset master doctor and your leverage for change. So today I'm going to come to speak to you about some signs when you're in the dating phase, some signs that you may be entering or in for a toxic relationship. But this is not going to all just be about intimate relationships or dating. This will apply to all relationships that you're going to be entering. It could be a friendship, it could be a working relationship, it could be any type of relationship that you're going to be entering into. So these are some signs I want you to look out for. That way, you won't get caught into this type of relationship without actually knowing before, so you can make a decision as to whether it is that you want to proceed with this relationship. Before I forget, guys, please like my video for me, share it with someone that you believe will benefit from the information I'm about to give you, and also subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell. That way, as soon as I upload a new video, you will be notified. All right, guys, this does help me, especially when you like the video. It does help me. Apparently, YouTube has an algorithm, and the more likes you get, the more they will show your video to others. So it helps to extend my reach. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks in advance for liking this video for me. So let me go into this now. So there are a couple of signs I'm going to mention today, which is going to kind of give you an idea that this relationship, this person that you're forming a relationship with, later on it might be a toxic relationship. So you are going to look out for these signs. Okay. One of the first sign that you can notice is that someone just complains a lot. They just complain a lot. They complain about everything and anything. If you say it looks as if it's a beautiful sunny day, then they'll come and say, oh my God, oh no, it's going to be hot and miserable and blah 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 blah. If you say it's going to be, if it looks like it's going to rain, then they complain about how it's horrible, they won't be able to do anything and all that kind of stuff. They never see the good side of anything. They're always focused on the negative aspects of something. And in everything there are good sides and bad sides to that thing. And so if you only focus on the negative sides of a thing, then you'll always be just negative. And negativity in a relationship can be very toxic. So this is something that you can notice if somebody's always complaining, if they got something as a gift, it could be better. They didn't get, it could be a better gift, or they would prefer this. They're always complaining. They're never satisfied. The other thing, guys, is that if you notice that someone is dishonest to others, they may want to always get something for free or for less than, even though they'll know that the thing is worth the price that's been asked. They'll always be trying to get something for free, and they'll complain and argue the point that down to nothing, to just get something for free all the time. And and when they get the thing for free, they'll come to you and laugh and say, oh, that person is stupid because that thing is worth even more. But they will talk the person down until they get it for nothing, and then it's almost like a game to them, and they don't realize that there are people out there, they're doing the best that they can to earn a living, and basically that's robbery, right? And what is happening with that is that you may think that this person is a very good negotiator. Yes, they might be able to, that is a good quality as well, because there are other people too who will want to take advantage of you. But when you know and you recognize that this is a pattern that this person something that they do on a regular basis, that everything that they want or they want to purchase, they always want something to pay little or nothing for the price for the thing, and then they go back when they actually get the thing. If the person is really desperate and sells them that thing, then they will now go back and just celebrate how they've just basically just screwed over that person, because That person was desperate to get that sale, and this person didn't really need it. This person who you're thinking of being friends with didn't really need that money. It was just the way that they want to always get something for nothing. That's dishonesty. Also, if you notice that this person is always just acting in ways that make you that is not aligned with your values. If you're someone who's honest and you really recognize that this person is really being dishonest in a lot of his or her dealings, then always lying. Maybe they have a phone call from someone while they're with you, right? And then they'll just tell the person something totally different than oh no, I'm at this place, when they're not. That is dishonesty. And especially when it is someone who is just really concerned about where they are, like their parents or whatever it is, and they will tell tell the parents that no, I'm not at this place, I'm at this place with another friend. That's just dishonest. And this actually ties in with another point that I have, which is if there's this person just lies for no reason at all. There's absolutely no reason. Now the other person may be dishonest because they feel they may get in trouble if the person recognizes that they're in a place they should not be. That's a little different. It's dishonesty for a reason. But there are also individuals who lies for no reason. They're just it won't hurt them in any way, but they just lie for no reason at all. You ask them this and they'll tell you that, and what the opposite of what it is that you're asking. All right, so those are some things that when you notice those things, guys, you'll recognize that a relationship with this individual might become very toxic later on if these values are not aligned with yours. Now, if you're a liar and you're a person who complains a lot, then that may be a match made in heaven. But if you're someone who really appreciates everything that you get, and you are seeing that this person just complains and is never satisfied with anything, then that might not be such a good thing. And remember, guys, I'm talking now about not just intimate or romantic relationships or dating, but with every single person. That it could be a friend, it could be even a family member, guys, or a co-worker, or a business place that you get into and you see the culture is that way, then you may not want to work in a place like that, because you'll just be depressed every single day. The next thing, guys, is that if you notice that someone never takes responsibility for their actions, they did something wrong, they didn't do something, but it's always somebody else's fault. They're always blaming others for their actions, right? Then you know that's an indicator that your relationship with them going down the line will be quite toxic, because no matter what they do, it will always be somebody else's fault. And it will also, sometimes they'll probably blame you in the future for something that they did, but they won't take responsibility. They'll blame you or blame other people. All right, you'll notice that at the beginning, because they probably won't blame you, but they'll probably blame other people. If they blame other people, guys, your time is coming. So don't believe that, oh, they won't blame me. Your time is coming. It's just a matter of when they get familiar with you, right? The next thing is, guys, is someone is easily discontented. Always, and it goes back to the complaining as well, but easily discontented. They may be happy at the beginning with something, but then as soon as they start getting familiar with that thing or person or or circumstance, they start getting like, I just need this or that, or this should be different, or this. And I'm not saying, guys, I'm not saying that you shouldn't want to change things, right? But this can really be really wreak havoc in a relationship, especially intimate relationships, when somebody is easily discontented, because as soon as they get familiar with you and they just get bored. That's basically it. Easily bored is probably the right one for this one. Easily bored. So they get up and they need to just go find something else more exciting to do. And that might not be you, because they've gotten used to you. And so they may just want to go find something new to do that makes them that excites them, right? So when you see that, guys, if they can't stay in one place and just work through relationships with others, then you recognize, especially when it comes to the fact that it's just because they're bored, not because there's something else wrong with the relationship between the person or something, what did them something that really hurt. That's not the reason they're leaving. It's just because they just got bored, pretty much, all right? If you notice also someone who just seems to be never satisfied, and again, this can be this might sound a little wrong in that, because there are some places that you can be that you should not be satisfied being into. You know that you're at a certain level of education maybe, but and you know you need more education to get to the place you want to go, or you're at this place in this little time, you're just starting out, you know, life, and you're in this little you're renting a room from friends, you know, you're sharing, then that's reason for you not to be satisfied there. I'm really just talking about, say, you know, it might sound trivial, but it's like, you give me this amount of time a day, you know, you spend this amount of time, but you always want more, even though that time that you're wanting is going to impinge on the fact that I won't have time for myself. So, you know, somebody who's always wanting more, you know, like in terms of time or whatever it might be, when that other person also needs to do things for themselves, but this person just wants more and more and more, and maybe also favors. It could be that you do something for them, but they always want you to do more and more and more. They're never satisfied. That is a type of satisfaction that I'm talking about right in this scenario, right? Being never satisfied, because sometimes, you know, in life, we want to always be increasing and improving. So being never satisfied in that scenario is good, because you want to be improving, you want to read more, you want to learn more, you want to grow. That's a different thing. But if this person is just being never satisfied, meaning that they always want more of you, more from you, more out of you, you know, like, give me more, I want more, when they're not, you know, when you need time, or you need the assets or whatever it is you have for yourself to fulfill your own needs, but they just want more, or they're never satisfied with that. That's what I'm talking about. Someone who won't respect your boundaries, that's a sign that there is going to be a toxic relationship ahead of you, because someone who won't respect your boundaries is that you know, they will just keep pushing your boundaries. It's as if they don't respect you. So what your needs, whatever it is that you're asking them not to go past. So if somebody does not do that, they will constantly be pushing against you. You'll always be trying to always fighting to maintain your boundaries, which you don't want to be in a relationship, always fighting to maintain your boundaries. Once you set them and you say, this is not, I don't like this, then you shouldn't have to be saying it over and over and over again for the rest of your life in a relationship with someone, okay? Another thing is, if you see someone, if you notice that someone has have indicators of low self-esteem, meaning you might be in a relationship, or you might meet someone who somehow they're always put themselves down. Nobody else has to do that. They're putting themselves down. They're always minimizing their accomplishments. They're always looking outside of themselves for validation. They need for you to make them feel good. If you meet someone like that with that kind of low self-esteem, guys, it means that you have a lot of work ahead of you, because they're going to be looking to you to make them happy. And that is just too much of a burden to bear for anyone. You know, they're going to look to you to make them feel important. That's just too much of a burden. When that person does not have that strong self-esteem that allows them to stand on their own, you know, and just have healthy relationships, then you know that if you're in a relationship with this individual, whether it be intimate or otherwise, they're always going to be pulling from you because they don't have that in themselves. The next thing, guys, is someone who does not embrace change, and also they don't believe in change. So in terms of embracing change, what I'm referring to is change is all around us. Everything changes. So you're you're in your 50s, but you're still dressing like you're in your 20s. You know what I'm saying? Doing the things that you did in your 20s, clubbing and spending all the night out at clubs and doing all kind of stuff like that. They're not embracing the change in their life. It's like something is wrong right there. You know, they're not embracing that. Also, they want to still maintain that if they're that sense of youth. I'm just using youth as and that kind of thing as an example. There are other things that some people will not embrace as change, and we all know that change is something that happens every single day. It can be change in our status. It can be that our children now leave and they're gone to build their own lives, and some people cannot embrace that kind of change because they always want to be primary into, you know, telling the kids what to do and always asking them, just kind of always being almost like the parent to the kids when these kids are grown and have their own families, but they always want to dictate what it is that these kids should do and should not do. So not being able to let go and embrace changes as they come, that's a thing that you, if you notice that, then you should, you know, really basically understand that this person is, they have a difficult time of embracing changes, right? And it can also show up in the fact that they have certain habits that when, if they were to change that habit, they'd be a better person. But they don't believe in change because they believe that this is how I am, and this is how I'll always be, take it or leave it kind of thing. And they don't recognize that there is a possibility that they can change, you know, by changing their behavior, changing the habits, changing their mindset. And so if you see that in someone who's just stuck and will not move forward and roll with the changes that occur in everyday life, then you know that those people are stagnant, and then they're going to require that you become stagnant too. And if you're not, if you're somebody who embraces change, then there's going to be some kind of a friction right there, especially when it comes to really close relationships, like intimate relationships, guys. The next thing is, if you notice somebody has a drug abuse, you know, something, a kind of some addiction. It can be addiction to anything, pornography, drug abuse, it's alcoholic, whatever. It can be pornography, it can be addiction to just really doing some crazy things like excitement, meaning that they'll go bungee jumping off of the thing. Now, this is going to be depending on you and what it is that your expectations are and what your level of tolerance can be with these things. So, you know, some people, they may think that the drug abuse is not that bad, or the alcoholism is not bad, or the need for a lot of excitement and danger is not bad. But when you get into a relationship with someone like that, what is going to happen is that it will filter over onto you, because if you really care for that person, if they're doing dangerous things, you know, driving at 150 miles an hour in things like that, jumping off of buildings and doing, that's going to stress you out, right? So if you're in a relationship with somebody like that, that's going to be stressful for you. Also, of course, when it comes to alcohol, you know, drugs and that sort of stuff, these things can also, especially in intimate relationships, you can probably get away with it when it's somebody who you don't have to deal with every single day, even though it's not going to be a healthy relationship. Then, you know, somebody who is always drunk or have the tendency to be taking a lot of drugs, and then they're just totally outside of their mind. They can't think right, and they can harm you. They can harm you when they're not in, you know, sane, but their drugs have taken over their whole mental capacity. So therefore, you could probably be abused later on, right? Because a lot of these drugs, you know, when somebody's addicted, they don't have they're not in control of their mental or emotional capacity, right? And they will get triggered easily and lash out and do things that they would not normally do if they were not under the spell of drugs and alcohol, all right? Or under the control, you might call it. Another thing, guys, is that if somebody's always gossiping, talking about others, if you recognize that somebody is always talking, they find their joy, their excitement in just putting others down, always talking about other people. And I've had to learn this because you're in the business arena and you're with other people, and people just always talking about other people. And I've come to recognize, thank God, I've come to recognize pretty early on that this just is negative and toxic behavior, and that so I've totally just distanced myself from that kind of a negativity, and now I cannot tolerate it. So guys, you have to recognize that, because all of that thing seeps into your soul, guys, and it damages you, and then now you find yourself doing it, and then you recognize that no, you are not, you should not be gossiping about others, because you don't know what people are going through. You don't know what's going on in someone's life. They could be having a really difficult time, and you're there gossiping and making fun of others. So these are things, guys, these are just some signs that if you see this in the beginning of your relationship with friends, anyone you meet that's new, in your co-workers, whatever it might be, any kind of relationship, guys, but specifically for romantic relationship, because these are so much closer that they're going to affect you so much more. So guys, if you've learned something from what I've just mentioned, all the different topics of different points that I just gave for just signs that you may be heading for a toxic relationship, then guys, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up right there. Give me also comment on other things in the comment section that you also know, and in retrospect now can recognize that if you had paid attention to these things, that you'd be headed for a toxic relationship. Put them down in the comment. I'd love for you to share that with me as well. So guys, share, consider subscribing if you find that this content that I put out is useful to you. And in the meantime, guys, hit that notification bell as well. That way you're notified as soon as I upload a new video. So guys, I'm going to leave you now. So this is Christine, your relationship and mindset master doctor, and your leverage for change. And guys, never ever stop growing. Take care now and have a great day. Bye-bye.